Look, politics is not a spectator sport, people. You got to get involved. You got to vote. You got to participate.
They could vote for Joe Biden, though. That's available.
But according to the polls, they won't.
That's not true.
Nikki Haley beats Biden by 10, 15 points. According to the polls, they're not going to vote for Biden.
Everybody stop yelling.
The debate over third-party politics took the spotlight on HBO's Real Time with Bill Maher. Host Bill Maher and Fox News' Jessica Tarlov had a lively exchange about the growing interest in political alternatives. Maher, known for his skeptical tone, brushed off groups like No Labels as flashy but empty, calling them political theater that looks good but doesn't solve real problems. He said these movements take advantage of voters' frustration without fixing what's actually broken in the system. Tarlov, on the other hand, saw it differently. She said the rise of third parties shows that people truly want new options, especially those tired of the constant fighting between Democrats and Republicans. Her message connected with viewers who are frustrated by the current political deadlock. Their debate reflected bigger questions facing American politics. Can third parties lead to real change, or will they just add to the confusion and division? The answer could shape the future of democracy in the U.S. Let's explore this important topic.
The questions that will define the future of American democracy, and the answers remain as uncertain as ever. Let's watch this interesting video.
Jessica, how damaging could a potential no labels presidential ticket be for Joe Biden? So this is an official third party now, No Labels. Who is this?
A bunch of
Joe Manchin. It says, what do you make of rumors Joe Manchin will be their candidate? Oh, exciting.
I'll start by saying the No Labels folks are grifters, and everyone should know that they're just trying to...
Grifters?
Grifters.
Right.
Yes.
You don't think they're sincere?
I think they're sincere like 40 minutes a day, and then I think the rest of it is just an attempt to get people who feel disenfranchised, like they're looking around, they're like, they're two 80-year-old guys, I don't like either of them.
Right.
Give me more money, give me more money.
Right.
And they don't really care what the outcome is, and they justify it by saying, well, it's going to suck either way.
Wow.
But apparently, the top polling No Labels ticket is Nikki Haley as president and Joe Manchin as VP. I happen to think, and Joe Manchin is not my favorite Democrat, though he voted with us all the time, and I'm thankful for having someone in West Virginia. I don't think he would do something like that because it would just destroy an entire legacy that he's had. But they do take more support from Trump than they do from Biden. It's the same with like RFK Jr. If he were able to get on more than half a ballot.
American politics is at a turning point. Many voters are growing frustrated with the traditional two-party system, which used to be seen as a key part of U.S. democracy. Now, more people see it as outdated and unable to handle the country's growing challenges. Political division is at an all-time high, and voters often feel stuck choosing between two bad options, Republican or Democrat. Because of this, new movements like No Labels and independent candidates like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. are getting more attention. They want to shake up the system and give voters another choice. These groups say they're trying to unite people and move away from the usual political battles. But not everyone is convinced. Some wonder if these efforts are truly about helping people, or just taking advantage of how tired voters are. Bill Maher shares that doubt. He called No Labels a gimmick, saying it's more about appearances than real change. In his view, these movements don't offer real solutions and only feed off frustration without fixing the root problems.
A recent study found a growing political divide between men and women, with younger women skewing much more liberal than men. This is not new, but I think it's just more prevalent. I think the number I saw was 30 points. That is a huge.
And that's the abortion issue, right?
That's a lot of.
As Republicans, we're losing young people, we're losing suburban moms, we're losing women, strictly on the abortion issue, and that's just terrible for the party.
I think it's abortion, it's guns, it's climate change, it's social justice.
And Trump. And the pussy grabber.
Trump.
Who's like the who
and now owing $83 million.
I'm not with Trump. I don't know why you guys keep looking at me.
I know, but what's interesting, what you two have in common is that you both can't say, yeah, and of course, so I'm voting for Biden. You both can't do that. I just find that interesting.
She can't say, you can't say, Biden can't say, and most white people won't say, I'll sit down and talk about black people, about real black issues from a place where I know I'm going to leave the table.
Different issue. I'm talking
about fucking racist.
I know you are.
Like, we don't want to talk about that. But when you say me and him are the same, we're the same. Besides that, we want to do it. Like,
The debate brought attention to a bigger issue. More and more people believe that neither of the major parties can handle the country's biggest problems, like climate change, income inequality, abortion rights, and gun control. Republicans and Democrats seem stuck, constantly fighting instead of solving anything. This deadlock has led to growing support for figures like RFK Jr. and groups like No Labels, who claim to offer practical solutions and a break from all the division. But their rise raises an important question. Are they really trying to fix things, or are they just taking advantage of people's frustration? Bill Maher compared third-party movements to political oatmeal, boring, bland, and not very appealing. His point reflects how many Americans feel about the political system. With the way U.S. elections work, third parties don't have a strong chance of winning. Instead, they often split the vote and shake up the results in unpredictable ways.
And now...
I was excited that I didn't have to do the reparations question and then got the food question, which could be more complicated. Doesn't that go in your headlines that shouldn't exist bucket?
It really should. I mean, but apparently, I read this too in USA Today. Apparently, the moon, because the core is cooling or something.
It's our fault.
I'm sorry, why does it matter?
It doesn't.
Okay.
I know, but it's funny because you really could do a whole sketch about that because we are so blame happy in this country. Somebody has to take. I think the moon's on Ozempic, and that's the whole thing. What do you think about conservatives in Texas are talking about Texas? Well, this happens like every 2 years. This is Texas seceding. Oh. They love to talk about it. It started out as its own country, right? While Texas was its own country.
We just had a bill in New Hampshire. We get it almost every 2 years. Someone wants to.
But Nikki Haley, your girl, said she doesn't think that's illegal. Come on, she doesn't know why the Civil War happened, and she doesn't get that secession is illegal.
Yeah, look, I'm not advocating for anyone to see. I don't think Nikki's advocating for any of that.
No, but she said she didn't think it was illegal, and it is illegal. You can't secede from the Union. That's like number one. Yeah, we're the United States.
I think everybody understands that's where we need to be, and that's what we need to fight for.
But Nikki Haley needs a bit of a history lesson. I mean,
that's broader than the secession issue.
What?
That's broader than the secession issue. Go back to the whole slavery.
I know. I'm saying she seems to have skipped grades. I don't know. Some of them.
Conversation highlighted just how divided opinions are on fixing voter frustration, sparking a heated debate over whether third-party politics are the answer and exposing the flaws of the current two-party system. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content that makes you think. Thanks for watching.